Hello again, all you rebels out there. That guy you hate is back again with another month-long election list. But actually, we're going to start with something a little bit farther out. I want to talk about the Wisconsin Supreme Court election starting up on April 1st, which is actually well beyond our 30-day right now. The reason I'm starting with that one is that it's going to be a big one, considered one of the first big ones since the November election, especially since Trump won the state of Wisconsin. Now, why is this important? Because the Supreme Court in that state currently has a 4-3 majority, and this is going to dictate whether or not the Democrats remain the majority in that state on that Supreme Court. It has been allegedly a nonpartisan election, but apparently nobody told that to anybody because Musk himself seems to be backing Brad Schimmel, who doesn't seem to take it seriously that he's being backed by Elon Musk, despite having a case going before that very Supreme Court soon about whether or not Trump can open up dealerships in that state, despite being barred from doing so. The Schimmel seems to think it's a bigger problem that Susan Crawford, his opponent, is being backed by George Soros, the boogeyman of the Republicans and things like that. The eyes of the country are on this one. This election is going to really set the tone for what comes after this. Did Wisconsinites learn anything? Does Trump still have the support he says he does, or is there going to be repercussions? Because Wisconsin, this is going to be up to you. At this point, you're going to have to ask yourself, what are you going to do about it? Because this is a big one. But we're going to leave it at that, other than, super PACs need to be made illegal. Citizens United needs to be overturned, but you all know that if you're watching this. Now, let's get into some victories. California did have a State Assembly District 32 and State Senate District 36 on February 25th, but they're not saying the official results for at least a few more days, so we're going to save that for next time. We do have some good news in Maine for Special General for Maine House District 24. Sean Faircloth did win that seat, so that state has another Dem in it. And Connecticut for Special General for Connecticut House District 40, Dan Gajewski, he won that one as well, so that's 2 Dem victories. The State Senate District 21 did seem to go to the Republicans, but thankfully the Dems seem to have a supermajority in both houses at this point. So they're still pretty safe, though that's still disappointing. Let's see. Getting into what's coming up. Florida. You got some township elections, jurisdictions of Beverly Beach, Bunnell, Estero, Flagler Beach, Hialeah Gardens, Sanibel, Willaca. I butchered, I think, all of those names. Those are on March 4th. The municipal elections jurisdictions of everywhere else seems to be March 11th. So Florida, you have a lot going on this next week. South Carolina, Hemingway, special local elections, March 11th. Special election for town council in Chiraw, March 18th. Special local elections more on March 25th. And South Carolina House of Representatives, District 113. That's a big one for you guys in South Carolina. March 25th is for that one. Louisiana, you have a statewide primary, March 29th, so that one's still a bit out. Mississippi, House of Representatives, District 23, March 25th. And House of Representatives District 82, also March 25th. So 2 House seats for your state on that day, March 25th. Oklahoma, State Senate District 8, special primary for that election, March 4th. For California, you still got a good amount going on. Cerritos general election, March 4th. Coachella Valley United School District, a special partial or remedial election for Imperial County voters only, March 4th, so in a couple days. Dos Palos, special ballot measure election, March 4th. Shall an ordinance increase the sales and use of tax rate in the city of Dos Palos by 0.5%, be approved to generate approximately $200,000 annually to be used only for fire departments expenses such as fire stations, upgrades, equipment, and firefighter staffing costs. So support your local firefighters, people. Marin County, special ballot measure. It's got a couple of them, actually. Community Facilities District 2024-2 Lake Spur Lagoon Bulkhead Replacement Project. Basically, as I've talked to the last couple of videos about this one, it seems they're trying to repair some infrastructure for their lagoons and such and create bulkheads. Probably having to deal with climate change, even though they probably won't admit it, whatever. But if you want taxes to go to that, vote for that measure. Measure B. Shall the measure be adopted authorizing a special tax of $900 per parcel in the Alta Vista Road Permanent Road Division for fiscal year 2025-2026? Basically, this one is to fund improvements and ongoing maintenance for the roads. If you're anything like where I come from, that might be important to you. Redondo Beach general election. If you want to know more about that one, right here. San Mateo County special ballot measure election, also March 4th. For the purpose of voting upon an amendment to the San Mateo County Charter granting the Board of Supervisors the authority until December 31st, 2028 to remove an elected sheriff for cause by a 4/5 vote of the Board of Supervisors after written notice and an opportunity to be heard by said sheriff. Somebody is not behaving in the sheriff's department down there. And finally, for California, general special election for Fresno City Council District 5, March 18th. In Maine, Harpswell, Cumberland County, regular municipal election, March 8th. Vote for elected officials including select board member, MSAD, 75 director, tax collector, and town clerk. You got a couple things going on in Franklin County in Maine. Municipal and school board election, March 24th, and a special election for school board on that same date. So, school stuff. Alabama, Tuscaloosa, City Schools General Election, March 4th. Special primary for Alabama State Senate District 5, March 11th. In Colorado, in Dillon, recall election. I've talked about this the last couple times. Recalling multiple people, also seemingly voting for their replacements at the same time. The petitions state that the 3 current council members failed to listen to constituents and have shown a lack of decorum and failed to uphold the town's charter's requirements that government be responsive to the needs of the citizens. And all 3 Dillon Town City Council members, subject to the recall effort, voted last year to approve a major development known as the Branded Residence Project, proposed by developer Jake Porritt. Dillon Town voters later overturned the council's approval themselves of that project at a referendum election. So, yeah, city council members not listening to their people. This is what happens. There are 2 sources for this one. So, read up on that one. It's kind of fun. In Loveland, you also have a recall election March 4th. Voting for the replacement as a person being recalled, Tone Troy Krenning recalled himself about a month ago. More info about the recall and about the candidates here. Iowa, Decorah special ballot measure election, March 4th. Residents will have the opportunity to vote on an establishment of a municipal electric utility, MEU, as an electricity service provider owned and operated by the local government rather than a private institution, which sounds like a better and better idea every time I hear it. Also, we've got a special election for Iowa House of Representatives District 100 for March 11th. So please be paying attention to that one in your state. Missouri, St. Louis primary election, March 4th. Vermont, Montpelier general election, also March 4th. Arizona, you have a general runoff election in Phoenix on March 11th. And also a special runoff election for Phoenix City Council District 7 on March 11th as well. Tucson, March 11th, you have a special election as well. Cobb County in Georgia, special primary runoff, March 11th. In Georgia, you have local special elections on March 18th. Minnesota, you have a township election set on March 11th. And also a special general election for Minnesota State House 40B on March 11th. So all of these state level House and Senate races are probably the most important ones you can get hold of between now and midterms for the federal level elections. So if you're hearing about a state House or state Senate, that's when your ears need to perk up and get involved. North Dakota, Dickinson, you got a recall election on March 11th. This is another fun one. I have been thoroughly enjoying reading up on all this small town drama while learning to do what I'm doing right now. Right now, City Commissioner Jason Friedrich, he was the only one being recalled due to the other one's not getting enough signatures to recall them. Mayor Scott Decker and Commissioner John Oderman. Legislators in the state are trying to make it harder to do recall elections due to differences between home rule and century code recall requirements, whatever that means. What they want to do, though, is to require 15 petitions with 35% of previous election participants, a replacement candidate already required, and a stated reason for the removal of a selected recall. The biggest change is the allowance of city auditors to cancel a recall election if they feel it necessary. So just leaving it up to local government whether or not they want to be recalled. The reason I want people to look into this one is that if this passes, then perhaps other towns in the country might pick up this skill to try and divert any recall attempts. And I think recalling candidates should be pretty freaking easy. And this is trying to make it all but impossible. Seth Helgeson is running as a write-in candidate due to not getting his name on the ballot soon enough. But if you are there in Dickinson, please participate. If you want to know more about this one, in Oregon, we have a whole bunch of school districts having things going on. Salem Kaiser Public Schools General Election, the Scappoose School District General Election, Reynolds School District General Election, Portland Public Schools Zone 1 Special Election, Portland Public Schools General Election, Park Rose School District Position 3 Special Election, Park Rose School District General Election, David Douglas School District General Election, Centennial School District General Election, Beaverton General Election, Washakie Rural Improvement and Service District General Election. So like Wisconsin and Oklahoma before, you just have a whole lot of school stuff going on all at the same time. So if you want to get involved in your local schools and keep yourself from becoming an Oklahoma, this would be a very good time to get involved. Our first one in New York City, Council District 44. That's on March 25th. And we're ending today in Pennsylvania. House of Representatives, District 35, March 25th. And also a State Senate District 36, March 25th. Remember, I said if you even hear state level senators and House of Representatives, these are the big ones you need to get involved with between now and midterms. These are the people that decide the districts and what size they are, what shape they are, and the shapes are getting ridiculous. So you want to have Democrat majorities in every House and every Senate. So if you're wondering what you can be doing, get involved with those. But that is where we are ending it today, and I will see you next week for another round. See you out there.